Wow, 2 videos in one day. This is the first for me. I'm excited. Okay, so now I have a 4x4 tutorial. So, I'm gonna scramble it. I'm gonna do it like my other tutorials where I just do some educative example solves. Alright. I'm not going to do an actual scramble because I think you should just be doing a hand scramble. And if you're watching a how to solve a 4x4 tutorial, then it's probably because you accidentally scrambled a 4x4 and now you want to figure out how to solve it or something. So it doesn't really matter because same scramble wouldn't apply to you. If I made a how to get faster at 4x4, that would be different. Okay, so first thing you need to do is solve the centers. For the first center, it's really easy to do. Uh, I highly recommend knowing how to solve. Actually, you do need to know how to solve a 3x3 first. If you're going to use this method, you need to know how to solve a 3x3. So now you continue putting up the centers. If you can solve a 3x3, then you can put the centers up on the first side of a 4x4. That's really easy. Okay, now next side. I always like to do the opposite side of whatever I do first. I'm doing white first this case. I'm usually neutral on 4x4. Okay, so with yellow, I have this piece here, and I have this other piece over here. I bring them over to line them up, and then what I do, this actually took me a while to figure out because I had never learned this. When you put it up, you want to put it up so it's in line. So these are in the same line. You put it up, and then you move it over, and then you bring it down. What I was trying to do before was this, and that takes a lot longer. It's a lot more moves. If you ever want to try speed solving, you shouldn't do that. Okay, and then next one, you do another center in here. It's a lot like the first one because you don't need to do any of these moves. So, gonna make that part, I'm stupid, make that part green, and then when you have a shape like this, and then a piece, you can move it down so this is in the same spot as the vertex of this angle. You bring it up, and then you move it over to whatever side makes sense. You wouldn't want to do that because, yeah, and then you do that. So you have that center, whatever one you chose to do. I'm just doing green. And then you do need to know your color scheme. That is pretty important. So it's pretty easy to remember that white is opposite yellow, blue is opposite green, and red is opposite orange. However, because those are just similar colors are opposite. However, the harder part is knowing that when you're facing white, red is always going to be to the right of blue, and therefore orange will always be to the right of green. So if you're going to do orange next, I guess I wasn't planning on doing that, but I guess I will anyway. I'm going to build this pair, build that 2x2 block, move it over, and then bring it back down. That didn't affect the green. And then for the yellow side, where I put it up like this, you can do the same thing when it's over two sides. So there's one and there's one. So move it up two, and then do U2, and then bring it up two again. Okay, and now I shall do red, I guess. So when you have something like this, this is not at all what you have to do, but I always put a 2 in line with the single that's the same color, because this is the side that needs to be red even though it has most light blue. So you do the same thing, and then you have the dot at the relative position on this center as it is on this center as the vertex of this. And then you can do that same thing as before, and then you have all of the centers. The next step you need to do is the edges. The edges are pretty easy, and then the last two you may get stuck on. I actually met someone who learned how to solve up to 11 by 11 completely intuitively. And he does something called last three edges instead of last two, and it's really weird. I haven't been able to figure that out. Okay, so now you find a set of edges that are the same to make a dredge, I think they're called. Two of these that are the same, when they're combined, they make a dredge. Or not, Dedge, that's what it is, not dredge. That's some kind of gold getting tool, I think. Okay, so now you want to line up two edges. So there's this white and orange, and this white and orange. You have two for each, unlike 3 by 3, so you need to, need to get it so one color is here, and then the opposite color is here. So this is white and this is orange. You can line them up, and then you move it out of the way, and then you replace it with, in this case, this yellow and red and yellow and blue, and then you move it back down, and then you just fix the centers, and then you have this built. You do this with all of the edges. Oh, I got lucky with a dedge built there. Okay, so let's see, white and red I guess I'll do next. So I have a white and red here and a white and red here. I'm going to, you have to have them on opposite parts, so like this one is on top now and this one's on bottom. You can move them around, however, if you know how to solve 3 by 3 you can figure that out. And then you combine them, and then this is something that not a lot of people do that I do anyway. I do a lot of things differently than other people, even though it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, I bring it up in the same place as a dedge that's already built, and then I move it over, and then I bring this dedge back up. I don't know why I do that, I just do. I think it might be slightly more efficient or something. Random mind superstition stuff. Now I'm going to do red and blue, so I am, sorry, got my camera angle right. Red and blue, and red and blue. So I move that over and line it up so that they can be built. And then I move it up and replace this white and red. Then I move it over and bring the white and red back up. And then I solve the red center, and I guess all of these centers again. And the next I'm going to do is white and blue. So you see they're on the same line here, white and blue and white and blue. You can't do that unless you use an algorithm, which would make it inefficient. So you move it over in a way that allows it to be the same. So this is on, not the same, on opposite parts with opposite colors facing you. I think they have to be opposite colors. I'm not sure how you could get it the same color. Not sure you can. No, I'm curious. No, I don't think you can. But in case you do find a way, you do need to do that. So I combine them, and then you see I have no more unbuilt dedges on the top white side, so I have to go to the yellow. I have none on the yellow, so I just replace it with any of them, it doesn't matter. And then I fix the centers. Fix is the right word. Okay, so now orange and green I see is next. This is orange and green, this is orange and green. I just did a U to move it over to the right place. And then I combine them, or replace it with the white and red dedge. Then I move it over and fill it with this junk dedge that's not a dedge, because that got moved up there with my U move to get the half dedge up, or I guess just edge. And now Blue and orange is next. Blue and orange, blue and orange. Now I have to do a couple moves to get those lined up. Blue and orange. This is blue and orange now. They're opposite colors on opposite sides, top and bottom. I move it over to combine them. I move this up, and then I move it over to replace it with the junk. And then I have 3 or 4 edges left, or 5, I guess, whatever, however many. I'm gonna do this yellow and blue. Camera angle right again. Yellow and blue. Move that up. I combine them. I replace it with this junk edge while moving this one that was built over, and then I fix the edges, or the dedges. And then this I immediately see and think it's a last two edges case. I'm not going to solve it as a last two edges case because I'll get to that later. I only want to do it on the last two edges. No, I guess I'll do it on both. So, when you get to the last two edges, you probably won't have two sets of the last two edges like I do. There's one here and one here. You need to do an algorithm. There are a few algorithms you can do, but the one I use is D wedge, R, F inverse, U, R inverse, F, D wedge inverse. And that, you can see that that solved both of them. The green and yellow is there, and the white and green is there. And now, because I got unlucky and have 2 of them, which I guess could be lucky, I'm not sure, I haven't done the math on it. Like, I've done a lot more math on 3x3 than I have on 4x4. And something else I had to figure out on 4x4 that I didn't get from a tutorial is that the edges have to be the same. So this is yellow and red, and then directly across from it is yellow and red. And then this is yellow and orange, and directly across from it is yellow and orange. The orientation of this being yellow and this being yellow and this being orange and this being orange doesn't matter at all, as long as they're on the same level. And then you do the same algorithm. Okay, whatever. I already did it. And then you solve it like a 3x3. Yeah, that was bad. Okay, so... Yeah. Oh, yay, I got an OLL parity. That means I won't have to do a second scramble. So there's a case you can run into, is called an OLL parity, as you just heard. So, what you do is, this is caused from a strange orientation of edges, sorry. So you get to do a fun long algorithm. And what the algorithm does is it takes any of these edges and it flips it over. If you have one that's like this, it will flip that over. There are lots of algorithms you can do. There's the one I use is, I'm gonna see what the best. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this one over because that would give me a nice OLL, I think. So R2 that with the inner slice, and then B2, then U2, and then L slice, U2, R inverse, U2, R, U2, F2, wait, that's L2, sorry, I'm not used to doing it this slowly, and then F2, L slice inverse, B2, and then R2, and then as you can see I did it too slowly and I screwed it up, but oh well, I guess, so I'll fix that and then I'll go back to it. And then I'll solve the edges again because I am stupid. And I deserve to solve the edges again because I'm stupid. And then that's all of them, surprisingly. Okay. And the centers are right. So, if I get it again, I really hope I don't screw it up again. And then solve it like 3x3. And I did that wrong. I'm really just like not being smart today. And then green and orange F2L pair. And then blue and orange F2L pair. And then red, blue F2L pair. And then red and green. Oh yeah, I didn't get one, I don't think. So do OLL. And then I did get a PLL parity, so yay again, I don't have to do another one. So the PLL parity, there are multiple algorithms. I've actually changed algorithms to this one from something else that I don't remember. So U wedge 2, R wedge 2, regular U2, R2 inner slice, and then it, so not used to doing it this slowly, didn't do that right. Is it like that? Yeah, okay, so it's regular U2 there, and then, so whatever I did. And then that swapped some edges around and gave me a PLO that actually exists on 3x3. And that is how you solve 4x4, fast and easy. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, whatever it is, comment. Thanks for watching, bye.